friends get together so they can try things. You're invited to this podcast so that you can try things. Now we will stop singing so that we can all now try this.
Hello and welcome to Now Try This, podcast where two best friends get together and try things. I'm Marcus, and that is
I'm Nick. I'm sorry, Marcus. I'm not listening. I was not listening to your wonderful intro because I just got top line breaking news about our challenge today that Lexi just texted me.
Oh my
God. Listen. Wow. And I'll reveal this later on the show. Guys,
I'm excited.
I'm Nick. That's Marcus. This is Now Try This. This is your favorite podcast where two best friends challenge each other every week to try things, movies, TV shows, video games, whatever. And you can join the conversation at Now Try This Cast on all platforms. But most importantly, you can join our community at patreon.com/Now Try This Cast. Join the community, guys. You can influence our challenges every month. You guys pick what we do. Last month we did Bo Burnham is Inside. We had a great time. I'm super excited to see what next month's been eating because we've been getting some really exciting challenges.
We have been getting an incredible selection of challenges from the Patreon. All of our patrons are wonderful and they all have great taste.
And anyone that is not a patron is awful and has horrible taste.
Yeah, 100%. So if you have bad taste, please
say.
stay away from our Patreon. We don't want your money.
And guys, if you want us to change our view on you, you don't have to give us money. That's not the only way to our hearts. The other way to our hearts is leaving 5-star reviews on iTunes, just like you know what? Because of this episode, I'm gonna reread this one because it's one of my favorites.
Okay,
it's
go
5
ahead.
stars, and it's called Super Funny, and it says, I dated Nick once, and he dumped me a month ago, but this podcast was so entertaining that I kept listening. 5 stars. How iconic for what today's episode is. Marcus, what are we doing today?
Good review. Oh my goodness. If only I can get my exes to leave me positive reviews.
No, you had the opposite. Way to get that shit taken down.
Nick, our challenge today is The Bachelorette, which you made me watch.
I didn't make you do anything. I gifted you a pleasure trove of content this week. That's what I did.
Down my gullet.
Marcus, before we get into that, is there anything from Bo Burnham's Inside that you just wanted to get off your chest? Some last minute tidbits, some last minute whoa, I really wish I said that about my depression from last week.
Oh no, I shared way too much. I appreciate everyone who's reached out. I'm okay. I'm sorry if you're not okay. Please seek therapy. I know therapy's expensive. So if you can't, find a stranger on the street and just start talking and see what happens.
We made a joke the last week. It was kind of a joke that if you can't see one therapist, you should see 2 because 2 is always better than 1.
Yeah.
And then you're like, nobody does that. But since that moment, I heard about somebody that actually has 2. So you know what? All the help you can get.
I can barely afford 1. So that's really awesome that you can go see 2. Congratulations.
You made that take a turn.
You
Marcus,
won.
Here at Now Try This, we try to get each other out of our comfort zones, trying new things. Marcus, did you do anything this week before we get a chance to talk about
speaking of Bo Burnham's Inside and mental health, I did my first therapy session with the new therapist.
Oh, hell yeah. Honestly, tell me the whole thing from beginning to end.
No, because that's between me and my therapist. But it was a good time. It was fun. She seemed very nice and very good at her job. So I'm excited.
Now, you don't have to get into details, but there's 2 types of people that go to therapy. One, people that go in and say they're okay and they're fine. And they kind of talk about work. And then eventually maybe their mother comes up. And then maybe the therapist can kind of pull something out of them and get a little thing right at that tail end of the buzzer time.
Yeah.
And then next week is the same thing. And they or you're the type of person that walks into therapy like, hey, lady, I have depression, severe anxiety. I have all these tendencies that are not good for me. How can you help me fix them?
That's me.
What?
That one is me. I walked in and I was like, hey, here's all of my trauma. Here's all of my bad shit. Here's how it affects my decision making. I need help because I know how it affects all of my choices. I don't know what to do about it.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, have you tried anything new? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I think that's no. I was just gonna say that's I think the better way to do that. I think that I mean, personally for me, I think it being open and honest to the experience is just like the way to go. But Marcus, if I tried anything new, the answer to your question is no.
That's okay. That's an acceptable answer because you know what? You retried something for this podcast. You
retried?
You rewatched Bachelorette.
Oh, that's true. I did.
You did.
I sure did.
Technically,
Yeah.
you were supposed to. You might not have, but technically.
I was about to say, you put a lot of faith in me. I easily could have not done that, and you would have never known.
I believe it. 100%.
You would have never known. But no, Marcus, I think that's enough further ado.
Oh.
I don't know what that phrase means. What does further ado mean?
No further ado.
Without further
ado.
Without further.
Oh,
what does
man,
that mean?
we're losing people, man. I don't know. Google it.
No. This is how we're gonna keep them. This is how we're gonna keep them.
Guys, if
what
you know
does
without
ado
further ado and the origination of the thing, then let's go.
Oh, ado is like chit chat.
Oh, wow. Leave it to my wordsmith of a girlfriend.
Gosh, if only you were a subscriber to the Twitch by using your Amazon Prime, I would have noticed even better. Guys, if you want to be subscribe on our Twitch, if you have Amazon Prime, it's free. We stream every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/nowtrythiscast. You can find our links on our website, nowtrythiscast.com.
Hell yeah.
And now our fan feels bad that I called her out. Well, you know, every month you got to renew your Prime. That's a part of the game. Marcus, I gave you the Bachelorette.
Yes, you did, baby. And I'm ready.
Why don't you tell me why I gave it to you?
Nick, you gave me why? Okay, Nick, you gave me the Bachelorette because you man, did I get you into this show because of the podcast?
Don't even.
Or no?
Don't even. Yes.
Yeah.
Bachelor in Paradise.
Oh yeah. So back in the day, I gave Nick Bachelor in Paradise and he fell in love with it immediately. He was like, holy shit, I never gave this show a shot and this is totally my jam.
Almost.
And then he continued
how
watching
long ago that was?
and I stopped watching entirely.
That was Bachelor in Paradise. It was 3 years ago, 2018.
Wow. Holy shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was earlier on in our podcast and the pandemic happened. So our concepts of time is skewed. But Marcus gave me the show because Bachelor in Paradise is the best version of the show. I actually agree. Hello, Settlers of Catan. Listen, so Marcus gave me Bachelor in Paradise because his girlfriend at the time made him watch it. And his rationale was I should suffer with him.
Hell yeah.
And when I watched it, I was like, what is this show? What's going on?
Nick, what is the point of the podcast if you're not suffering with me?
That's true. That is exactly the point of the podcast. So I suffered with you. And then we were both like, well, we got to see how this season ends. Do these people get engaged? So we did. Easy. Done. Out. No problem. But then those fuckers picked one of the people that I was interested in to be the Bachelor. And I was like, you know what? I want to see if he finds love. I want to see what happens. So no big deal. I watched Colton season The Bachelor. Whatever. Okay, cool. I'm done. He didn't find love. He didn't propose. It was controversial. We're out. No problem. But then they pick one of those people to be the Bachelorette.
And I'm like, you know what? You got gut.
You know what? I want to know if she finds love. Great season. So glad I watched it. And then done. All over. And then they pick a train wreck of a person for the season.
Which one was
and
that?
We get Peter, Pilot Pete.
Okay.
His season was awful. His girls were all like exactly like the Instagram kind of people you don't want on the show. He was like immature. It was crazy. Like he didn't.
Jesus.
He ended up with a girl that he sent home in 5th place. No,
wait,
the way that season ended. Hold on, quick.
Give me that hot goss, baby.
So he picked somebody. He got engaged to Hannah Ann at the end of that show.
Okay.
Cut to the tell-all, which is 2 months after, right? After the filming.
Yeah.
He broke off the engagement because he was still in love with the other girl.
Oh.
And the other girl, she self-exited. He didn't break up with her. She self-exited because she told him, I can't be with you if you have sex with the other women on the dates. And Peter did.
Oh, no. So after he had sex with other women, she left?
Yes. And then at the tell-all, he left his fiance and then they got back together right at that moment. And then during the woman tell-all, his mother got involved in the conversation and said, they'll make their own mistakes. They'll figure it out on their own. And through the most shade I've ever seen a woman ever give. It was wild. It was wild. And then they lasted like a week. And then he started dating for like a year. The girl he sent home like in 5th place.
That's
wild.
Dumb.
It was wild. And she was like a lawyer and she was great and he did deserve her. and then at that point, I'm just like in. At that point, they pick a Bachelorette that has it had to do from like old seasons, but I was just like in at that point. And now I'm just a fan.
Nice.
So now I'm here.
I'm glad.
And then we started this podcast back up, and we have this newest season of the Bachelorette. And Marcus, the last season of The Bachelor, fucking train wreck. I've talked to you a little bit about that. Was Matt James.
Yeah, you were coming in and telling me about it a little bit.
It was wild. The wildest part about it was the hugest controversy of the show was one of the women was photographed as attending a plantation ball in the South.
Yes.
Where
Okay.
they literally
Yes. I was
they
going to
go to a
ask for you to explain
plantation.
this to me
Mhm.
because when we start this season, Chris Harrison isn't there, and I only
No,
know
no,
a
no.
little bit of why. So continue your story because I'm very
Oh.
interested in this.
Honestly, I know you. It's wild. It's so fucking wild. So Rachel was photographed going to a plantation ball, and she got found out on TikTok. Like one of her high school mates like made a TikTok about how she was
Oh,
fucking racist.
wow.
And this is important here because Matt James was the first Black Bachelor. So
Of course they get a racist person.
all
on
this
that
shit came
season.
out after the show film, and he picks her at the end of the show.
Yikes.
No big deal. She got proposed to. They're engaged. Then everything came out after they were done filming. So then they were engaged, and he left her during the tell-all because, and honestly, I don't blame him because it's not his responsibility to explain what has happened.
Yeah.
And to be fair to Rachel, she has come out in front of all of it saying, I didn't know what I did was wrong. Now I know, and I am reading, I am studying. She is trying to do the best she can as an ally. At this point, you've fucked up, right? Like, honestly,
Yeah.
I'm not on her side. Honestly, I'm not on her
From a PR
side.
standpoint, yeah, you're not on her side.
She
Neither have
PR did
I.
the best she could. She
She
PR did the
her
best she could.
PR.
100%. And Matt couldn't stay with her. And I was on Matt's side.
Yeah, of course.
And I was like, yeah, I get it. I've been in relationships with white women, and I was like, you don't get it. You don't get this shit. I can't stay with you. That's happened to me. You
Yeah.
know that's happened.
Yeah,
to
I
me.
know.
But the reason Chris Harrison isn't there is because when all this stuff was coming up, Chris Harrison went on Rachel Lindsay's show, the first Black Bachelorette, who hosts a show on E or something, and defended Rachel, racist Rachel, and said it was cancel culture. It was years ago.
Yeah, I actually watched that
PC
clip.
police.
Yeah.
And Rachel, God bless Rachel Lindsay, because she just sat there and said, and she just let him keep digging.
Yep.
Keep digging. And basically everyone's like, you suck, dude. And then he had to step away.
Of course.
Honestly, the tell-all from that season was really interesting because they got that guy who hosts that podcaster show called Hard Conversations with a Black man.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. The former football player who's very good. Fucking, he handled that mess really well. I honestly, I feel like he should have stayed on the show.
I mean, those
But-
conversations are hard to navigate no matter who you are.
Yeah. And he
Like-
did well. He did well. And he did do a good job of explaining the point of there's like racist things that you can do and that happen and being a racist.
Yeah.
And he like tried to do his best to heal, right? To move past it.
Yeah, because
He did a
I
good
feel
job.
like the worst thing you could do is, I mean, this is not actually the worst thing you could do, but a way to easily get rid of people's like willingness to talk is to call them racist, you know?
100%.
Even though they
Now-
might be racist.
100%. Yeah. It stops the conversation dead.
Yeah.
So, but here's the craziest part. Matt and Rachel are together now. He got back together with her after the
Whoa.
tell-all. So here's my thing.
Okay.
I was on his side. It was like, I can't
Sure.
stay with her. Everyone was tearing Matt James apart on the internet. It's like, if you really loved her, you would have stayed with her through
Yeah.
this. And I was like, well, you're white, so you don't understand. But there's to grow up to be in a relationship, which is funny because that actually happened in one of the newer episodes of this season. When you have a family that is then interracial,
Mhm.
there's a certain degree of, I think, awareness that you need to have to enter into that thing, and she didn't
Yeah,
have that.
yeah.
And I think that's fair. I don't want the mother of my child to not understand what the experience of my child is going to be like,
100%.
right?
Yeah.
Totally fair. But then this bitch got back with her right after the show, right after the controversy, and I was like, were you just trying to like get up out of, were you just like,
It's-
I didn't want to
I
put
mean,
the
there
fucking
are
drama?
so many difficult, you know, maybe he just didn't, he was tired of being harassed. So he was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go with it. Maybe he was offered an incentive from ABC. Like, you don't know what's really going on behind the scenes. Maybe he really
All I
liked her.
know, then he should have stood with her, right?
I mean,
He just like let her flounder out to dry.
and then came back. Well, maybe she's
Yeah.
learning and growing, and she apologized to him, and he believed her.
100%, and
You
that
know?
is probably actually what happened. But it's just, honestly, I really don't. I don't side with the trolls almost ever. But in this moment, I was
You're
like,
like,
maybe he should have stayed by her side if he was gonna.
if you
he
really
really
run
loved
back to her anyway.
as run back, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is why Chris Harrison is not a part of this season. Katie's season of The Bachelorette co-hosted by Tasha and Caitlin Bristow. Now, did you see Colton's season? You did,
I
right? So
did
you know
watch
Tasha.
Colton's season, so I know Tasha, but I don't know the other one. She looks like someone.
She was a Bachelorette 2 seasons before that.
She looks like someone got
5 years
plastic
ago.
surgery to look like Megan Fox. That's what she looks like.
Well, she has actually gotten a lot of harassment online about the way she looks. It's actually really sad.
That's a shame, but that's the first thing I noticed. And after that, it grew on me, and I was like, great, she just looks like whoever this woman is.
Yeah, no, Lexi said the same thing. And I said the same thing to her.
Yeah.
And then she was like, why you gotta be so mean to me? And I said, so Marcus, just to give you the setup, and then I want you to give it more to me, because
I'll give it to you,
be done
baby.
talking. So Katie is the Bachelorette because on that season of Matt James, not only was the Matt James and the racism of it all like a huge part of it, and that made it wild and crazy, the whole season was filled with such like drama and pettiness. And again, they put like girls that weren't ready for this, and girls that like motives like seemed out of place, and girls that were just like catty and like
I feel like that
drama
season
filled
might be a culmination of just like years of doing this, you know, and it becoming so formulaic that sometimes the formula gets fucked a little bit because it's just too repetitive, and they're trying to cycle people in and out.
Totally. And also it probably felt even more that way because the season before with Tasha and Claire before for like 3 episodes was such a good season because of the pandemic. The guys they had to let them go, and they got new guys, and they got older guys to match. So the season felt so much more mature. It felt like they were there for each other. And there was still drama. There were still villains. There were still things. But like the guys were like just showed up in a really nice way that I haven't seen for years on the show. Yeah. And actually ever on the show.
It's nice in these shows when the group is good. It's good when there's drama because it's fun to talk about. It's fun to like, you know,
it's gotta be a little both.
Experience a little bit. But I do like when the group is good, when they're just good people, because then the show becomes about which one of these guys is going to make it to the end.
Exactly. So Katie was on Matt James' season. She got like halfway or so, but she stood out right away because she was above the drama. There was a controversy on that season where somebody said that someone else was a sex worker, which is completely okay, but they framed it in not the right light.
Yeah.
And it was untrue. So now if you Google that girl's name, it's like this girl's name, sex worker.
Jesus
like she might have ruined her life a little bit, right? And Katie went to Matt and was like, hey, this happened. I'm not telling you who, but this could ruin someone's life. You need to address this. And she was that girl in the house.
Wow.
And she was like above everything and like sat down with people.
What's
called people out.
We're not going to, I can't start from the beginning. I can't. I'm just going to jump to something because we're just going to keep talking about the whole thing.
Jump, please.
We're jumping. I was watching episode 4 right before we got into this. You gave me the
because
first 2 episodes
so captivated. You wanted to keep
I was
watching
episode 4 before we jumped into this, and there was a debate amongst the group. It was Trey versus Andrew, the football guy. And Trey was saying, hey, I think Thomas is a problem. We should tell her. And Andrew was like, no, dude, not my beef, not my problem. And then Trey told her, and she appreciated it. But I didn't have this information. I didn't have this information that you had, that she did that same exact thing. If you watched her season as a contestant now, that's the best move you do. You know, you'd like, if there's someone actually causing
and you
drama
know the
in
show
house,
well enough to know that that's usually a move that gets you sent home.
It is a move that gets you sent home. It is a move that gets you sent home for sure.
But multiple times in the season, it is not.
Yeah, he risked.
But
he
also
risked it.
Yeah.
He risked
but
his
also to
standing
be
on the
fair,
season.
I think honestly it happens like 6 times this fucking season so far. It's fucking
oh no,
wild.
Really?
Well, no, you've already seen a couple of them.
I've seen
like,
a couple,
fucking,
but it's been mainly around 2 people. So it's like it happens a lot, but the people it's about hasn't changed yet. Right now, it's just the 2 guys that.
Well, no, he did it about Thomas. It happened earlier in the season
with Carl,
right? Carl, and it happened before that. Remember with Aaron and his beef with that guy that looked like a Pillsbury Doughboy?
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Fucking
Aaron,
sad man face,
dude. Aaron, I immediately was like, oh fuck this guy. He looks like a douchebag. Like he just looks really mean.
Let's just get into it because I was so anti-Aaron at the beginning. Let's start from the beginning. Aaron at the beginning, he came off. He was slick. He was tall. He kind of did this thing.
Fuck those tall guys. Hate those.
Yeah, fucking. I'm jealous of him. But no, I agree with you. As soon as it comes off, he gives you this vibe, and you're like, oh, and especially because he hates that guy. Yeah. So he's giving off this like this alpha male, like trying to I'm ready to fight energy at the beginning.
is the name of the other
But
guy.
then when you turn, when did you turn on Aaron?
Well, first off, he goes
Yeah.
up to Cody, this other guy, and he's like, I don't
Right away.
like you and I never liked you. And that's all the show. They edit it in a way that you're like, okay, what the fuck is happening there? What does he mean he never liked you? Is he just drunk? And you find out.
It seemed like maybe, right? It seemed like maybe he was drunk.
Yeah, they found out that they've actually known each other before, and that he was like trying, and that he wasn't there for the right reasons or whatever. And we're like, okay, Aaron's just trying to play the I'm not there, someone's not there for the right reasons card. Everyone does it every season, someone does it, right? But then it turns out she approaches Cody, and she's like, hey, I heard you're not here for the right reasons. Are you? And then he fucking flopped.
He shits the bed.
He shit the bed so hard. My dude was like,
let's reenact it. Let's reenact it. Hey, are you here for the? Hey, I was talking to Aaron. He said you might not be here for the right reasons. Is there anything you'd like to say about that?
I don't know. I saw something I might have posted online that maybe what he's talking about. Also, I might have murdered a woman. I don't know. But there's not a dead body under my bed.
It was so dodgy.
It was weird.
It was so weird.
It was off-putting.
Immediately. And then even when she sent him home just a little later after that, because she got the right vibe. I mean, she got the wrong vibe.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, good luck.
Yeah, he just left.
And
I was like, I'm out.
Wild.
And then you have Carl.
But here's the thing. Before we get to the car, here's the thing about that Aaron Cody thing. The way Aaron talked about it to Katie in that first place was not how I was expecting. It wasn't as like catty.
No, it was
like,
not catty.
He's here for the wrong reason. He was like, he tried not to talk about it.
He tried
like,
really hard not to mention what it was specifically about.
He gave Cody a chance. Cody had a chance.
Yeah, Cody had a chance.
You know,
like Katie was like, "Hey, Cody, explain yourself. I'm not mad. I just want to know what's going on." Because Aaron was vague. If Cody played his cards right, he could have stayed easily, and Aaron would have been out
100%. But Aaron was so right.
Aaron was 100%
which made me
right.
immediately fall on Aaron's side. I was like, "Oh, you're cool. I'm on your side, bro."
Same. I was like,
and then later on, when we'll talk about the drama later, but when Katie calls him over after the drama, and he's like, "What's going on?" Okay,
yeah.
And Katie's like, "Hey, you're the only one I trust. Tell me." And he's like, "I literally have no idea. I'm just here." And I was like, "Oh, poor Aaron. He just wants to be there for love, and now he's getting pulled into this drama." I'm not Team Aaron, but here by the end of even the 5th episode that I'm on, I'm like, I fuck with Aaron. I want to know what he's about. I don't know. Like, it's like, what's your story, bro?
I'm not Team Aaron, but I would like to see him on Bachelor in Paradise because I feel like he deserves some more screen time and some fun.
I feel like he's one of those people that I think could fall in love, deserves the chance.
Yeah.
But he is a little bit of a bro.
He is a bit of a, but
so
I mean,
he
Nick,
is gonna, but a respectful
That's
bro.
the
but
whole
a respectful
show.
Bro.
That's almost everybody on the fucking show. Everyone looks like a fucking thumb on the show, and there's like, hey.
There's specifically some people that don't though this season, right?
My name's Tim, and I like lifting weights in Jesus Christ.
That's everybody. Everyone's the same person. They have the same haircuts. They have the same fucking skin tones for the most part.
Yeah.
It's
except Aaron. Maybe that's why I'm rooting for Aaron. I'm just like, I don't see you usually, bro. I'm on your side. But also, guys, our chat is lighting up right now with everyone's opinion on the show. Come join the conversation. Twitch.tv/NotSureThisCast, please. They're having a great time without us. You don't even need us. That's the truth.
I know. I see the chat moving, and I'm like, I don't have time to read all this. They're just talking to each other.
We have too much to talk about in The Bachelorette. But okay, let's go back a little bit.
Okay,
we're totally gonna bounce around, but like, I want to hear your first impressions, Katie, because this is your introduction to Katie. So what do you think of her? And you know enough of the show to know what the prototypical type is like.
Yes.
What are you feeling about her? How does she look to you? Is she pretty? Is she fierce? What is she?
I think Katie is swell. She's very, she seems like a good person who knows what she wants.
Why are you saying it's so weighted? I agree with all that. Do you hate her? Does she
think
remind you of someone in college or something and you can't stand her?
No, I think she's great. I think that she is wonderful. She's a good person to be on The Bachelorette, but I don't think that she is someone that I would be interested in seeing more of. You know what I mean?
I understand that. I totally get what you mean. And I thought the same thing about her before she started, but as the show's been going on, she's been impressing me more and
She
more.
impresses
Like
me.
she really has been showing
I
up.
think she's a good person.
We're talking about initial impression. Yeah.
I think she's a good person for sure. I mean, after the episode where she opens up and talks about her history and her past, the fact that she's sex positive is a wonderful thing. The fact that she's really putting in a lot of good messages out there for the young women watching the show is incredible. And I respect the shit out of her for that. But as a person, like on a dating show, it's like, okay, she fits the mold of what it means to be a bachelorette. She's like, she's just another person. I will forget her. She exists in a year, probably less than that.
Probably. Honestly, I feel bad because if I saw her in a vacuum, I think I would think even highly of her. But I really, really loved Tayshia. Tayshia was really good. Tayshia is she's honest and she listens and she's thoughtful, but she's also just so like bright and like lovely. So her season was great, especially because all the men she had were like so.
I didn't watch her season, but I was going to say that she's incredible. She's really good.
Yeah, just hanging out, just as one of the hosts here, she's like doing a great job. Yeah, she ended up marrying or getting proposed to by a guy who is an alcoholic, and he talked about his substance abuse problems, and he actually has turned the corner so far that he's on the board to the rehab center that saved his life. Like that's like a real person. Yeah, it's like a real story for a real person. Like he's on the show because like his sister submitted him or something, right? You know?
Yeah.
No, like I forget who did, but like somebody did for him. Like
I think I remember.
Yeah,
that.
So he's like a real dude, and he proposed, and Tayshia and him are engaged, living in New York City, and I'm like, that's the show, right?
That's awesome.
So we got Katie, we got all these limo entrances with all these guys. Does anybody stand out to you right away? Is
okay?
Like,
I'm gonna go through the first impressions. Right now, I'm looking at them again because honestly, I am on episode 4. I haven't finished episode 4 yet. Only the 5 episodes are out, so I'm not even that far behind. Right?
Sure. Oh, hold on. I just want to do one or two this way. Which one of these guys looks like he could be a magician?
Which one of these guys looks like he could be a magician? I'm looking at the list of faces and names, right? I forget constantly who some of these guys are. I see them on screen
100%.
And Darren and I are yelling, who the fuck is that? I don't know who this man is. And it's wild that so many of them look the same. Who's Gabriel? Is he still on the show?
No, he was on the first episode. He was the one that hugged like
oh yeah, that guy. He looks like Topher Grace, and I forgot. He kind of looks like Topher Grace a little bit. In a bad way.
In a bad way.
He looks like an ugly Topher Grace.
People in the chat are asking like what Katie does in real life. She was like a bank teller, so she's 100% not going back to her real life. She's gonna be a host. She's gonna open a podcast and get paid to drink tea and put fashion on her. And honestly, more power to her. Fuck, do it. Live your fucking life.
I'm looking at. You said who could be a magician?
You shared with us your love life, your quest for love. You deserve to go sell tea and
fuck around for a little bit.
On
do whatever you want.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay,
100%.
Brandon from Queens, New York.
Yes, Brandon is 100% looks like he could be a magician.
No screen time and left the first season.
0. And if you watch that first rose ceremony, he's just like standing there like this all the time.
Yep, he's disgusting. I mean, he's not disgusting. He seems fine. His picture on the website is also like that. Not him, but people who get kicked out the first episode always go so hard in the tell-all. They always come on the tell-all being like, how dare you do this? How dare you do that? And it's like, shut the fuck up, man.
The last couple of tell-alls, they've only been having like 10, 12 people.
That's the best way of doing it, I believe. I haven't watched the last few of them.
The people with like stories.
The last time I saw it, they were still letting people from season 1
and you're like, who are you?
Come. Yeah.
Quick shout out in the chat to Settlers of Catan. They have their own Bachelorette podcast called the Batch League 3. It's a fantasy league / discussion show. Guys, go check them out. They are hanging out here in the chat. Hello, nice to see you. Thank you for joining.
Welcome.
Welcome. Marcus, please tell me more of your first impressions of these guys. I would love to hear some of them.
Oh man, I feel like I don't remember. Oh, fucking Andrew, handsome guy, football player, well built, really kind, a lot going for him.
Yeah.
And yet,
can I tell you my one beef?
Let me finish this, and then you can tell me your beef.
Please.
And yet, this motherfucker is constantly trying to do a fucking British accent all the goddamn time. It's annoying as shit. It doesn't make any sense. At one point, he does it while whispering sweet nothings into Katie's ear, and it doesn't make any sense because she's like, "Wow, I love his British accent." It's not an accent. He's just faking it. It's not his real accent. Who cares if it's sexy? Okay, your turn.
There's that one girl. There was that one girl 2 seasons ago who kept an accent for like episodes.
Really?
Yeah, it was wild. You didn't find out till way later she didn't have an accent. It was wild. But I'm okay with that for Andrew. He does have a cute smile. -9 for 2. I agree with you.
Mhm.
We all agree. But Marcus, the only thing that annoys me about Andrew is his laugh.
Oh,
he
shit.
laughs like a schoolgirl.
Wait, do it.
He's like he's got like a little bit of a higher voice, so it's okay.
Yeah.
So he's like here, and then he's like,
Well, Nick, we can't all have your laugh, okay?
a bellowing, obnoxious, guttural howl.
It's
Yeah, you're
almost
right.
like it's gonna be an evil laugh. It's like
You know what's crazy is I feel like I've said it before. I don't know if I've said it in the pod, but I didn't know what my real laugh was until I was like 16, 17.
yeah, it
because I
takes a long
only
time.
laughed when someone else laughed because of all the messed upness about myself.
Yeah. I
And my
changed my
insecurities.
laugh.
Like on purpose, right?
On purpose, I actively changed my laugh because it was bad. And when I was in high
Aw,
school, I
buddy.
was like, this is a dumb laugh, and I hate it. So then I changed
Aw.
how I laugh, and it took
And
a
I
lot
didn't
of
know
work.
how. Aren't we a pair? And look at us now,
There you go.
making them the masses laugh
Hell
one
yeah.
at a time. More first impressions. Go.
More first impressions. We had Box Guy, who was a lot.
Box guy.
He stayed in the box the whole time. Like, it started off as a dumb bit. He was in the box, and it was like, oh, I'm your
He
gift.
committed.
And I was like, fuck this guy, I hate it. And then he stayed in the box. And that won me over. I was like,
Same.
this guy's
Same.
hilarious. He kept
I
the
was like,
bit
Box,
going.
you're dumb. People have done that. I was like, you're not gonna get out.
He didn't go
fuck.
out the box.
He stayed in there for a couple hours.
Curveball.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, I
The
love
bell
it.
curve of the box spin. It is
A bell,
exactly what
100%.
it's like. Yeah.
And then at the end, when he comes out and you see who he is, I hate him again. He had nothing. He's boring as fuck. He's just a
Yeah.
nothing person. And
That slick back hair.
it was too
Oh,
much. He was a
hate
box.
it.
He was funny as the box guy, and that was it. That was his one
He
bit.
should have stayed in box. Honestly, he's still on, and I think it's because of the box bit.
I agree. Yeah. Let's see. Anybody
Lexi
else stand out?
very, very encouragingly calls him Wall Street guy because he just looks so much like a Wall
They
Street
all
guy.
look like Wall Street guys.
A lot of them do.
They all just look like
And a lot of
fucking
them like,
finance
almost
bros, real estate agents. Like, they just look like that kind of person.
But here's the thing, we're gonna get to it. There's a couple people that are very specifically don't look like that, which I really appreciate. Like
Yeah.
Connor, who came up
Who
dressed like a
is-
cat.
Oh, Connor B.
He does not
Yes.
look like a Wall Street guy. He,
He
looks like a
came-
dope.
Connor B came with the fucking cat suit, and it was pretty cringy. I didn't like it that much.
Here's the thing. I also did it, but you know what I really appreciated? How much Katie appreciated it. That was cute. I really
She
liked how
really
she
liked
was
it.
like, cat. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, you can have
He
it.
got a
You can
kiss
have it."
first night,
in the
which
cat
is pretty
costume.
fucking good. In a cat
They
costume.
were both dressed up like cats.
Yeah, he got his whisker
First
marker all over
furry
her
kiss
face.
on the Bachelorette.
Oh my god, is he a furry? I would
I don't
love
know.
that so much.
That was the reveal.
Okay,
But then he's a math teacher. He plays ukulele around. That's his bit.
seems like a
It's
really
cute.
sweet guy. No one else,
Yeah.
literally no one else.
You know
stood
what?
out to
Hold
me.
on. You know what annoys me about Connor though? This is how he talks about everything. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't
Yep.
know. It made
He's
me-
got
I-
side
oh,
mouth.
oh,
I didn't really know
Oh,
what
it's
I
so-
was.
I
I just didn't know. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay
Yeah,
though. I would like to
I-
share my feelings. And he always, every time he kisses her, he like, come here, and he like grabs her head and kisses her. And I hate that. I don't know why. I just fucking
Lexi said
hate
the same
that.
thing.
I hate it. It's gross. Don't do it.
You and Lexi agree.
The kisses on the show, by the way, hold on. It's too much. I don't mind that they're kissing. I think kissing is wonderful. Go ahead and kiss whoever you want. But
Kiss, smooch, smooch.
the microphone is inside their fucking mouths. It's so loud when they're kissing, and they're just like, a lot of them aren't good at kissing. There's a
Yeah.
lot of like open mouth.
Guys, we're getting
action.
to Michael A. Don't get ahead of us in the chat. Don't worry. We'll talk about Michael A.
We'll talk about Michael A, guys. Please.
That's a whole discussion. We'll get to it.
Michael
more,
A,
more.
I don't remember his first impression, but on the kissing note,
He was just like a cute, like, hi,
Yeah.
it's good to meet you. Oh,
My-
no, I do remember his. I loved
What was
his. I
his?
loved his bit. He came in and he was like, this watch has been in my family for like 200 years, so I'm gonna give it to you. And she went like, oh, oh, and
Yeah.
he's like, I'm just kidding. I got that from the airport. And I was like, I appreciated that.
It was
anti-joke
cute.
There.
It was cute.
Yeah.
He is, I like him. He's a dad whose wife died. And he seems like a good dude. He always asks for consent, which I really like. He's always like, can I kiss you? Can I do this? Can I do that? And it's really sweet. They showed this after during the credits, after episode, little moment with them looking up at the stars on their one-on-one date. And that was really sweet. I like that a lot because they had some playful banter that was really, really cute. She seems kind of dumb, but it did make her seem kind of dumb, which, you know, whatever, that's fine. But he was very, very sweet the way he handled it. And she was picking on him and he was like, he rolled with it and it was wonderful.
Hold on, I'm getting called out in the chat. Listen, it's not that I wasn't a Michael A fan at the beginning. I just thought he was twitchy. He's very twitchy. I kind of thought he was on drugs.
No,
I thought he was on I kind of thought he was like on speed or something because he was like so twitchy and like animated. And I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But then his wife is dead, Nick. I understand his wife is dead.
His wife is dead, Nick. Don't you understand?
Well,
he's still reeling from the pain.
Here's the thing. He's even if he is on drugs, completely fine because he has completely won me over.
He's a great
completely
dude.
Michael A. There's this moment later on where he's just like talking even more and like he's just such a good dude about how and I followed him on Instagram now because he like the thing he does now is like bring advocacy to like families having to go through what he went through. Like he's like
that's awesome.
And like the thing he said about like the reason I'm on the show is because I want to be able to teach my son that his dad can still be happy. And I'm like, fuck, dude. Like even if that's a line, that's a fucking great ass line.
Yeah.
Like you are fucking here to really like I don't out of anybody here, he's the only person that I don't get any vibes of like you want to be Instagram famous or like you're here for an ulterior motive or like you're here to sell something. I'm like he's like his whole story of like I found the love of my life and she died.
He is very articulate. He's able to convey his emotions, and the way he words everything is really sweet and considerate to both, you know, his family, his children that might watch later, and Katie.
Totally, 100%. And he does always ask for consent, which I really do appreciate.
It's really nice. It's easy. I like him a lot. I hope that, you know, this gets him some ass. That's all I can ask for.
Any other first impressions, Marcus?
No one else. I don't remember a single other person's first impression other than that one man is named Courtney.
With a Q. He came up with like a poem.
It was great.
Oh, they did Courtney dirty though. Courtney,
why?
They haven't given him a lot of screen time, but there's a deleted scene with him talking to Katie about how she's like anti-bully and he's like super smart and thoughtful. And I was like, oh, they didn't put this in the show, you dicks. Like, he's a good guy. Like, I didn't think he was a good guy. I thought he was like a whatever pretty boy guy.
Yeah.
And then I heard him talk because he hasn't talked in the show really.
No, they haven't.
In
given
that deleted
any time.
scene, and I'm like, oh, you're like a good dude. Okay, I'll send it to you later. It's like, oh,
send it to me, yeah.
Great.
Also, Nick, you're saying Courtney with a Q. It's Courtney, like quartz.
Courtney.
Quartz.
It's my accent. Courtney.
Okay.
So then there's lots of drama on the show. There's lots of things to talk about. But here's the thing I want to ask you. You remember the show with Chris Harrison. Are you missing him? How do you feel with Caitlin and Tayshia? What do you think?
It's hard because I can't see Caitlin and Tayshia as anything other than producer plants. Like,
oh, so you think they're only going to be like here for the season
anytime
and then they're
they
going to
show
rotate
up,
to somebody else?
It seems nice. It seems good, but it seems also like the producers was like, hey, go in there and talk to her. Go in there and do the thing. You know,
I agree. I feel like it's missing that host thing a little, right?
Yes.
Well, good thing, Marcus, because here is your audition to be the Bachelor's next host. Roll the clip.
Now try this trivia. Now try this trivia. Now trivia. Now trivia. Now trivia this.
Hey, and we're back.
Marcus, I appreciate you singing it along because I can't hear it. It's playing. Marcus, like you just said, Tayshia, Caitlin, they're doing a great job, but they don't feel like they have enough control on the show. They don't feel like the host. And I feel like we're missing something. We're missing a temple, a leader, a guide on the show, right? Somebody that feels in charge of what's happening. And Chris Harrison is apparently too racially insensitive to be a part of the show anymore. So I thought we could make a little audition tape really quick. I thought we could just make a little audition tape to see. I don't know, Marcus. I think you do great on the show. You got Chris Harrison hair. You got a good look. You know, you're tall. Like a lot of the people on the show are tall.
Yeah.
That's helpful. Chris Harrison always looked like a fucking like a half a foot smaller than everybody
I'll
else.
also throw hands.
And you'll throw hands. No one's going to mess with you. These are all great qualities we need in a host, but we need a couple more. Okay, Marcus. First up, there's going to be 6 parts of this this audition tape, if you
Yep.
will.
Okay.
First part is I have a couple iconic phrases here that the host of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette always says, and I need to hear your best take on them. First up, I need to hear, "Gentlemen, I'm sorry. This is the last rose tonight." And your best host bringing the love
Okay.
of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette.
Gentlemen, I'm sorry, but this is the last rose of the night.
Wow.
Come on.
Wow.
Come on. Come on.
Wow,
Hire
wow.
me. Hire
That
me
was
now,
pretty good.
ABC.
Yeah,
ABC
there's
family.
more, there's more.
I'm family friendly.
There's more, Marcus. There's more.
Okay.
Now I need you to lead into a promo right before we go to commercial break. And this is really the most dramatic season of The Bachelorette yet.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
This right here, this that you're watching, this is the most dramatic season of The Bachelorette. And we're going to say that every season going forward. You know why? Because it's always true. It's always the most dramatic one. You can't prove me wrong. Fuck you. That's my audition.
Honestly, that was so meta that I think they might hire. And then lastly, Marcus, I need you to come up with a new iconic phrase. You don't want to come in and be Chris Harrison.
No.
You want to come in and be a new host with your new own vision. I need something iconic that you can say every episode of your upcoming season of The Bachelorette.
Okay. Are you ready? If you're sitting at home thinking you could be on The Bachelorette, you're wrong. Go fuck yourself. You don't deserve love. That's my iconic catchphrage that I'm going to say every season.
You're taking it.
It's going to make everyone feel good.
A different way than I think.
Okay,
I
fine.
think most people would.
Are you ready now? Are you ready for another one?
Oh,
I'll
sure.
Okay,
I'll give you another take. Yeah, please.
Good thing there's no IQ test required to be at The Bachelorette because they're a bunch of dum-dums. How's that? Was that a good one?
Yeah, I think you touted the line really good between affable shithead and everyman.
Good.
Now, next up, Marcus, the second part of this audition tape, if you will, for you to be the host, is I'm going to give you a couple scenarios, and I need to hear how you're going to handle the situation. A part of being the host is handling the drama, being
Okay.
that guide stone to
Uh-huh.
our lead. So, you know that someone is here for the wrong reasons. I
Okay.
need to hear you tell that to the producers, you tell that to the lead, and to hear what you say to that contestant specifically.
Okay, so to the producers, guys, we have a cash cow on our hands. There is someone here who is obviously here for the wrong reasons. He's yelling it from the balcony, and I just don't know why. He's just screaming, "I'm here for the wrong reasons. I don't care who hears it." He's posting on Instagram when we took his phone several times. I don't know how he keeps getting it back. That's the producers.
Mhm.
We're gonna make a lot of money. Okay, who are I
The
saying
lead,
next?
the lead.
What's her name?
Katie.
Katie, I have unfortunate news. Someone in the house is here for the wrong reasons. We don't know who it is, but they're here for the wrong reasons. And I wanted you to know that because I believe in love and I believe in this show.
And now you have to talk to that contestant specifically.
To that contestant, okay, I go in with the pound. Oh, yo, man, good job, dude. Keep it up. Keep it up. We're gonna make sure to get you lots of camera time and make you look like an asshole in the edit, which is fine. It's gonna be huge for your career. You're gonna get tons of likes, tons of followers. Maybe even we'll offer you the villain role in Bachelor in Paradise. Keep it up, buddy. Great job.
You know the biggest villain in Bachelorette history is also a porn star now. Just like-
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Now Bachelor is coming to you, and they're asking you if you think they should keep the problem person, the bully, the villain of the house on the show. How do you handle that situation, Marcus?
Hold on, I got distracted. I'm gonna need you to repeat that because Dash 9442 said more motivational speaker gigs, which I'm willing to offer to Carl. Carl, if you're listening, I'll get you those motivational speaker gigs. Let's go.
Marcus, stop flirting in the chat. So the Bachelorette comes to you and asks
Okay.
if they should keep the problem person, the bully, the villain of the season on the show.
Okay, Katie, I think you should do what you believe you should do. I believe in the process of the show, and I think you do too. So make the choice you think you need to make, and we support you.
You didn't do great on that one, buddy.
What?
But that's okay. Next up, you got
What?
the Bachelor tells you that now he thinks he's not ready to propose at the end of the show.
Okay, I pull him aside. And I say, "Hey, motherfucker, we paid for this shit. You understand? You understand how much money went into the show? You understand how many jobs are on the fucking line right now because you don't want to propose? You could take it back. Who cares? It doesn't fucking matter. You're not getting married right now. Just fucking do it. Okay? Just fucking do it and we can all go home. How's that?
That one you nailed. That one was exactly right. That one is exactly how you should speak to them. Now, Marcus, the third thing part of this audition tape, I don't know if you know this, but the past host wrote a book, a romance novel. And I'd like to think that, yeah, it's true. It's true. Chris Harrison wrote a romance novel. And I'd like to think that you would also want that boom in your career. So, Marcus, I just sent you a excerpt
from his romance novel?
Not his, just a random one.
Come on. Chris Harrison has a romance novel?
Hold on. Okay, let me.
I need to read that. I mean, you don't have to give me a thing from that. But God damn it, I need to read that. That man looks like the most boring vanilla person I've ever met in my life, and I can't imagine there's anything hot and spicy in that. Oh my God, you sent me an essay.
Do you want me to try to find you a Chris Harrison?
No, it's fine because it's probably more boring than this. This seems good.
Yeah, that's why. Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Do you know what's the name of this novel? What's it from? Or are you gonna tell me after?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Sleeping Beauty.
But even as he smiled, he felt the hot fluid between her legs for the first time. The real fluid, which had not come before with her innocent blood. Oh my God! Innocent blood? Is this Twilight? What the fuck is this? That's it, my darling, he said. And you mustn't resist your lord and master. Now he opened his clothing and took out his hard, eager sex. And he took out his hard, eager sex? What the fuck is that? Okay. And mounting her, he let it rest against her thigh as he continued to stroke her and work her. She was twisting from one side to the other, her hands gathering up the soft sheets at her sides into knots, and it seemed her whole body grew pink, and the nipples of her breasts looked as hard as they were tiny stones. He could not resist them. He bit at them with his teeth playfully, not hurting her. He licked them with his tongue, and then he licked her sex too. I don't like them referring to the sex organs as sex.
This is Sleeping Beauty by A.N. Rochelaure. Anne Rice.
And as she struggled and blushed and moaned beneath him, he mounted her slowly. Again, she arched her back. Her breasts were suffused with red. And as he drove his organ into her, he felt her shudder violently with unwilling pleasure. Ew, unwilling pleasure? That's not good. That doesn't sound good.
I gave you an out to stop reading. I thought you would have stopped.
You gave me an out to stop reading?
I did. There's a nice transition there where you could have stopped.
I'm sorry.
But you got to finish now.
An awful cry was muffled by the hand over her mouth. She was shuddering so violently it seemed she all but lifted him on top of her. That I don't like that. What was happening there? Don't want to know.
The Amazon review has said, in 1983, before 50 Shades of Grey, Anne Rice began the first installment of the series, now considered to be a forerunner of erotic literature.
Wow.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. I felt like you could indeed write your own romance novel to be a host of the show. So you're doing pretty good. The fourth part of this audition tape is, Marcus, the host is known for having... Am I freezing?
You were freezing a little bit, but you're good.
So... is known for awesome promos to come in and out of commercial break and during these segments that's filled with puns.
Oh, no.
So I need you to go ahead and give a promo leading us into or out of an episode. And whilst this promo is going on, I'm going to give you random words that you need to incorporate somehow in some kind of pun in your promo.
Okay, so I need to start the
whenever
promo,
you're ready.
And then you're going to give me puns.
Say them to you. Give you a word to make puns of in your promo. Nothing can go wrong.
Well, that was quite the scene.
Doctor.
What was it?
Doctor.
If only we had a doctor in the house, he could have easily figured out what's wrong with that contestant's heart.
Tree.
What?
Tree.
Tree?
Tree.
Well, next time on The Bachelorette, this contestant makes like a tree and leaves. Ha.
Jump.
Jump. I don't mean to jump to conclusions, but this bachelor does not have a future on the show.
Motorcycle.
I'm on a motorboat that contested while I ride my unicycle. I said motor and cycle, Nick. It counts. Into
Plastic.
the sunset. Plastic?
Plastic.
Well, paper or plastic doesn't matter because our next contestant is broke.
That was a non sequitur. Oh, chicken.
I don't know. This is so hard.
Chicken.
Welcome back to the Bachelorette. All you chicken heads out there. Period. End of sentence.
Depression.
Hope they don't have depression because I'm here pressing like on that contestant.
Yeah, nice. Oh, those are some great promos.
Man.
Honestly, if they just cut those right out and put them right in the show,
yeah,
I think
it
they'd
would
be
work
flawless. So
perfectly.
Marcus is a fifth part of this audition tape and a sixth here in the fifth part. I'm gonna pretend to be an emotional contestant
Okay.
from the show, but I have led all the drama. So you don't want me to leave, but I feel burned and I feel shunned and I want to leave.
Okay.
So you need to talk to me as the host and try
Okay.
to convince me whatever you'd like to do.
Okay.
Oh, Marcus, they took away my sparkle. They took away my sparkle and I can't handle it anymore. I just can't do it.
I am here to let you shine. And I want to know what I can do for you because your
No!
sparkle shouldn't get taken away.
No, but he's not falling in love with me. It's not gonna happen. He's not gonna propose to me.
Do you want
I'm
us-
not worth it.
Do you want us to force him to propose to you? How
You can do that?
We can do that. I will force him to propose to you. I mean, we can end the show early too if that's what you want.
Can I pick the ring?
What? You can't pick the ring now. I'm sorry. You can't pick the ring. It comes from the
Okay,
same ring
that's-
guy every season.
Good. Last season they had him come on to like give emotional advice. It was weird.
Did they run out of
Yeah.
people?
Well, I don't know. It's
You know, it's a
quarantine,
weird
so-
tidbit I learned about the Bachelorette that the house that they used to rent, like they only use a part of it, and the rest of it is still like open to the public, and they're like doing shit because it's like a resort or whatever.
That's not a resort. It's somebody's house.
Oh, it's someone's
They
house.
rent it out.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
that was. There's like
They stay
I,
there.
I learned that there's
It's like
people
just their
in the house while
Yeah.
they're
It's their
they're
house.
filming, which was wild.
It's just some
to me.
people's expensive house. No. Nice, Marcus. I am gonna clip all that together and I'm gonna send it in. Now I don't know if you won or lost this game because we're gonna wait and see if you become next season's host of The Bachelor.
Is that how I
or The
win? If
Bachelor.
I actually become next season's host of The Bachelor?
Yes, if you become the new host of the show, then you win. If you don't, you lose.
Ah, god damn it, that sucks. Okay, Chris Harrison, I know you're still making that money, and I know you're still out there. How about you put me in? Okay, I'm not racist.
He got
I'm
fired.
Hispanic.
They bought him out of his contract. He's not involved anymore.
He's not the host, but he's still a producer, right?
No. They paid out his like $10 million contract.
Oh wow, wow, he made
Yeah.
$10 million by being racist. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So that piece of information that Lexi gave me right at the beginning of the show, I figured maybe right now I'll say it because I've now read the article.
Okay, give me the
Is
information.
Hunter? People have been talking a lot of shit about Hunter, including Lexi. I
Yeah.
want to be clear. And Katie just made a tweet saying, "Remember, you only get to see a portion of who these men are. For example, you probably didn't know Hunter has Tourette's. So I encourage everyone to think twice before commenting negative things," which is honestly super fair. It also says he's been 14 years sober.
Wow, that's awesome.
He shared his AA chip.
So
Yeah, like interesting. Now that actually puts into perspective the thing he shared during that Nick Viall
Mhm.
segment where everyone was sharing their and his was
Yeah.
like really deep and like harsh. And I was like, you like abandon your wife and child and you're just like saying that? That's wild.
yeah,
But now you can see, I mean, he's sober now and
yep,
he's
100%.
fucking, you know.
I
wild.
like Hunter. I think that I don't love him. I don't think he's the best, but I do think that he isn't a bad dude from the vibes I was getting in the show. I think that he is like fine. He's maybe the least attractive of all the contestants,
I'm really interested to see what you think in the newest episode.
but I haven't watched episode 5 yet. So if something happens, then I apologize in advance. Or if he ends up being racist or something, then My bad. Because right now he's fine. He's whatever.
These shows are so hard to be on someone's side because you never know what the fuck's
You
gonna
don't
come
know
out.
what's gonna happen. It's hard because I'm like, oh, I like this guy, and then it's like, podcaster Marcus says he liked Connor C, who's a massive racist. I'm like, fuck, god damn it.
Okay, so now let's fucking talk about Carl and his fucking the way he left the show.
Oh
And
my
his
god,
fucking
Carl.
his turn to villain.
Piece of shit guy. First off, he's a motivational speaker, so immediately
Ooh.
I was like, red
Florida.
flags all day. Okay, for Florida too. That's where you go to scam people with motivational speeches. He seemed like a piece of shit from the first moment he was on the show, and then
Mhm.
this little fucker, this absolute piece of shit. Okay, because Aaron and Cody have like their little beef, right?
Yeah.
And then Aaron goes and tells
And this
her.
weight is lifted. This weight is lifted.
Aaron goes and tells her, he's like, Cody's here for the wrong reasons, blah, blah, blah. She talks to Cody. Cody's fine. Then what happens is you literally see it on Carl's face. The camera shows Carl and you could see the fucking light bulb go off on his head. And he's just like, oh shit. So you're saying if I say someone's here for the wrong reasons, I could get attention? So then he goes in like immediately after and is like, hey, not everyone is here for the right reasons. I don't know who, I don't know when. No one said that to me, but no, some people aren't here for the right reasons. And then so
Wild. And Katie's so good. She's like, because he tries to be all like, I don't want to put more on your plate. And she's like, that's fine, but I need you to tell me.
Yeah, she's like, put it on my plate. Fucking tell me now. He's like,
Yeah, coughs
and
up a storm.
immediately just fucking dies. Sorry, died. Go ahead, keep talking. Keep talking about it.
No, you're fine. And it was just wild to me because then Katie comes out and says like she does that whole speech where they like clip it to death on the previews and shit. It's
Yeah.
like, if you're not here for the right reason, you can leave, which is like more power to you. Great moment. But then she's like, I need time. And then all the binders standing there in shell shock, like, what the fuck happened? Who said
Yeah.
something? And Cara was like, it was me. I said something. And they're like, what did you say? And there's like, I just said that maybe people are here for the wrong reasons. Who's here for the wrong reasons, Carl? I don't want to say.
No one.
I don't want to start trouble.
I mean,
you started the trouble.
It ends up being Thomas is here for the wrong reasons, but he didn't know that. He just said it.
We'll talk about
Thomas.
Yeah.
He just said it. And then everyone turns against him. Everyone hates him. And then it's Aaron again, who just dealt with drama with Cody. Aaron is the one who has to then confront Cara and be like, dude, shut the fuck up. What are you talking about? You're just like trying to manipulate her and trying to say there's drama when there's no drama.
And that's how the episode ends.
Yeah.
For the second episode. And you were like, gotta find out about Cara.
Had to. It was hard. You only gave me the first 2 episodes to watch, and there was no rose ceremony. So I was like, I need to know what happens. I need to keep watching and see, at least watch the rose ceremony. So you cut to the rose ceremony, and she's giving out roses, and then what's the virgin?
Mike P.
Pete comes down, and he's
Mike
like, hey.
P.
Oh, Mike P. He comes, and he's like, hey, so me and the guys talked, and Carl's a piece of shit. And Katie's like, what? He's a piece of shit? Oh no. And she just kicks him off the show, which is great.
She tells Tasha and Caitlin, she's like, I was gonna keep him. I was gonna keep Carl. And they were like, nah, get that piece of shit out of here.
Yeah. No, so they kick him off the show and it's wonderful and I love it.
That's wild.
It's great. I like seeing the unity of these guys. I like when they unite and they're like, this guy's a piece of shit, get him off the show. This guy
The group of guys are pretty good, right?
The group of guys is pretty good. She's very lucky as a contestant because not everyone gets good group of people.
And you know what's wild? At this moment, everyone on the show, clean, great. Yeah. 1 fucking 5 minutes later, 1 day later, fucking worst contestant that's ever been.
I know, right? Like, oh, good. We got rid of the villain. Immediately another villain appears. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah,
so they start focusing on Thomas. But honestly, like,
he fucking dug his fucking own fucking grave there.
That dude, honestly, I got bad vibes from Thomas. Thomas, at the first, he seemed fine because he was not saying anything.
Yeah, he seemed fine.
He was just saying the same thing everyone else saying.
He looked like budget A-Rod to me.
I get that. But he is a piece of shit. He seems like he's manipulative. He seems like a kind of like a sociopath. He seems like he's just trying to say the right things because he knows he's trying to like prolong his time on the show. I didn't like him.
And he says it. And then he says it.
Yeah, multiple times.
And then he says it. I came here for the wrong reasons.
Oh my God.
But now I'm falling in love.
The fact that he was willing to say that he was like falling for her, then he told the guys, he told her that he was in love with her. He's still on the show as far as I've seen, because there wasn't a rose ceremony yet. But like Trey just went up to her and talked to her about it and was like, "Hey, this guy's a bad guy." So I want to see what she ends up doing going forward.
Yeah. I think you'll be floored by the Thomas situation.
Okay, so that means that he stays on the show.
I've never seen anything like it. It's
God,
what happens?
Okay,
but yeah, and then there's a couple solo dates. Like, what do you think of Greg? Greg gets a lot of screen time, and Katie seems to really like him. What the fuck do you think about Greg?
Oh my God, Greg sucks. The first thing she says when she meets him is she says he looks like my ex, and then immediately starts making like way too deep connections with this man, and she doesn't even know him, and you can tell that he's kind of like, okay, cool, great, but he's not on the same page as her.
You know, there's a rumor going around that he's secretly an actor, and that's the only reason he went on the show.
That makes sense. I mean, I think that there are certain
he's
types
from Jersey,
of people.
So you know.
Oh no, there are certain types of people that go on the show.
Yeah.
I think it's people who are sociopaths and people who are just like, I don't know. They just believe in the process, I guess, and they're dumb enough to be on it.
Everybody knows they're going to get Instagram followers on the show, right?
Yes.
Like everybody knows that. That's fine. That's fine to know that. But like for Thomas to say that out loud, wild.
Yeah.
And you know, for someone to like not say that they're an actor, like upfront and honestly, like if Greg turns out to be an actor and it's like not part of his story at all, wild. We'll see how that turns out.
There's
then we
someone
also
on the
Michael
show.
A.
Oh, okay, Michael A.
Oh, go ahead.
Which one's Michael A? I don't know their last names.
Dad. He's Dad.
Guys, if you're going to be on The Bachelor or Bachelorette, please change your name to something interesting. I'm tired of 5 Hannahs. I'm tired of 5 Mikes, Michaels. Just fucking change your name. You're gonna be famous. You're gonna have
like
all
Courtney.
this. You're gonna have all this newfound fame and glory. Like, why not take this opportunity to change your life a little bit? Be a Courtney.
Courtney.
Be a Courtney. Okay.
Don't be a Mike.
Don't be a Mike.
Don't be a Mike random letter.
Which one's Mike A? I don't know. You're gonna have to tell me. Which
Dad.
white guy is Mike
Dead
A?
wife. Dead wife.
Dead wife. I like dead wife man. He's pretty cool. I think attractiveness levels, he's cute. He's not like hot, but I think he's realistically attractive. You know, he's kind of every man attractive.
Did you see the football game? The bash ball game? Yep.
No.
Never mind.
Okay. Does he get hotter or worse?
No. It's one of those things where they all wear like skimpy, speedo-y. It's one of those things.
Okay.
And he's like very honest. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Everyone else is shredded. I got this dad bod.
Well,
and the internet has been going wild for it.
That's
everybody
awesome.
is standing Mike A.
He seems like a really.
If he doesn't get picked, I would not be surprised if he ended up The Bachelor.
I don't think he's gonna
get
picked.
Early choice.
Yeah. I don't think he's gonna get picked. But I think he's a good dude, which is nice because he seems intelligent. He seems to know what he's doing. He seems funny, and that's great. You know, it's rare to get that. A lot of times you get like dumb bro jocks and the woman equivalent, you know, and it can be filled with that. And then, but occasionally people shine through the process. They shine through the pile of the sameness. And I think he does that.
Now, there's someone else I need to give a shout out to because he is my favorite.
Okay.
We haven't talked about him yet.
I don't know.
Because he hasn't done anything with Katie yet.
Justin.
But Justin. I love Justin.
I knew it was Justin. I don't love Justin, but I do love the camera's attention to Justin. I love when the camera goes to Justin and he's like, just like making faces every single scene.
When Carl's giving a speech and he's like, "Who wants to hear more? You guys don't want to talk about?" Justin's like, "No."
Yeah, I love it. Justin is great.
Yeah, I feel like he gets some time later.
In terms of contestants, that's everyone else is just like the same person. It's hard
what did you
to
think
tell
about,
them apart.
What did you think about Mike?
Who's
P,
Garrett?
Virgin. I don't know. Mike P. Virgin.
I thought that he handled it, the sex like bed scene thing. I think he handled that well.
He fucking nailed that, right?
Yeah.
That could have been awful.
It could have been awful.
That could have been awkward. It could have been awful.
He seems like a good person. I don't know what his deal is, but
in the previews, it seems like he gets a date eventually. So I think he's sticking around for a little while.
Oh, cool. Something about him seems off, and I don't know what it is. I think that
probably because he's never had sex.
Maybe that's what it is. And that's fine if that's your choice. Like, that's cool. But at the same time, I would like to know why. Like, is his faith that strong?
He said it was his faith.
But why is his faith that strong?
He's wearing a cross. Why is his faith that strong? Honestly, that actually sounds great. That sounds really interesting. I would love it if during his date we got like a real like discussion of like why. Like, not just save yourself for marriage.
Because it's fine. It's fine if you want to save yourself for marriage. marriage, and it's fine if your faith is strong, but I like to know why people make the choices that they make. And I think that's one of the interesting things about the show is that you get these weirdly intimate moments with people where you're seeing that that's why everyone loves Mike A or whatever letter right now. Because they're like, oh, we got to see this really intimate moment. He got to be vulnerable on the show and everyone fell for it. And now with Mike, I with that other Mike, I want to see the same thing. I want to see like why he is the way he is.
Agreed. I think the best thing about this season so far is just the fact that I am legitimately, I'm here. I'm here. I'm not thinking about like, oh, hurry up and get past this point, or like, oh, you know, sometimes that happens on these shows, especially this show. Sometimes I'm just like, oh, now I feel like I'm just watching to watch. But now I'm like really interested in like this journey and getting to know some of these guys more and like seeing their journey and their relationship progress with Katie.
Remember how
I just finished the 5th episode and the promo at the end of the promos are always wild, but the promo for the 5th episode, the end, shows a lot more of late game stuff, Hometown's Fantasy Suite stuff.
Yeah.
It was fucking wild. It was oddly like, I don't know, I've been watching promos for years, and this one I was like, I turned to Lexi and I was like, what the fuck's gonna happen on this show? It was just a really well cut promo.
Yeah. That's awesome. I think they do a good job with the promos. The producers know exactly what they're doing, and the editors are fantastic for the show. They know how to dial up the drama. I was gonna say, you know how there was that one season of Bachelor in Paradise that was mainly from the season that had just happened? Like they grabbed a bunch of guys from the season that just passed. I think we're gonna have the same thing with this next Bachelor in Paradise. It's gonna be a lot of guys from the season because there was a lot of good dudes.
Well, this one's weird because we skipped a season, so all of Peter's girls, all of Matt's girls, all of Claire and Tasha's guys, and all of Katie's guys have never had the chance to be in Paradise. And then there's also people that are just like fan favorites from before that want to be. So they have like the real picky. And then there's like Bachelors of Bachelor. Like Peter is single right now. Like, I would not be surprised if they wanted him. Yeah, he broke up with that lawyer girl because he's nobody wants it. The fans
nobody
don't
wants
want
him.
But the producers are dumb sometimes.
Okay, Nick, I have one more thing I want to talk about because we're at like, what are we, close to an hour and a half? I don't know if we have to end soon, but I do want to talk about something.
No. But the Bachelor in Paradise thing, I have already heard some rumors about some people on this season that are on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you are right. There are some of these guys. I can't reveal who's going home and stuff.
Got it. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Nick, one thing I do want to mention is where I'm at right now in the episode, they just added Blake.
Blake! You want me to tell you about Blake?
Who the fuck is this man? Hold up. Before you start, he just shows up to the show. They're like, hey, Tasha shows up and is like, hey, sorry, Katie, but there's someone from my past who is interested in you and he wants to be on the show. So please go out and meet him right now. And she's still struggling with this whole Thomas thing. And then this guy, Blake, just shows up and in the chat, Lexi is saying that he looks like Sully from Monsters Inc. mixed with John Travolta. We actually got Darren was saying that he looks like Jimmy Kimmel mixed with John Travolta, which I can't unsee. So
yeah.
He has a weird mouth. I don't like him at all. I think like Jimmy Kimmel is not someone you think is attractive. He is more attractive than this guy. I don't like him. Something about him seems wrong. The fact that he's been on this show twice before and he's on this season now is like, okay, you're gross. Get off the show. Go find love the regular way. You've had many opportunities. And he seems desperate, and I don't like it.
Lexi and I think he's going to win.
No.
Now, here's the thing.
Okay,
so
explain it to me.
Blake was on Claire's season of The Bachelorette. Him and Claire connected right away because he actually, against the rules, DM'd Claire when they were in quarantine. So when Claire's season started, she was all about Dale, got proposed to him in 3 episodes, but the only other person that was even vying for her affection was Blake.
Wow.
Then she went home with Dale. Then Chris Harrison came up and said, yo, Tasha's coming. And most people were like, all right, cool, because they hadn't had a chance to even form a connection.
Yeah.
Blake and one other guy were both like, well, we actually already made connections. And the other guy went home, but Blake decided, after talking to Tasha, I'll stay. And then they formed a pretty good relationship. He got to like 5th place or 6th place. And here's the thing. All of that in a vacuum sounds awful. The dude, in all of his interactions, has been super genuine and nice. Like, he hasn't given any bad vibes. He's been cool. He's been thoughtful. You get some more screen time with him in the following episode, and he continues that same course of being thoughtful all you've seen is him show up and say, yo, I DM'd you that one time and it was cool and I wanted to come on the show.
You can
right?
you can say whatever you want on the show though, and there's some people who
Yeah.
get caught up in their lies, but there's some people who are good at it. I think being on the show 3 times with 3 different women is just kind of tacky.
I don't disagree, but I think him and Katie got a shot. I
Oh
think
my
knowing what I know about
God.
Blake,
Yeah.
he's that same kind of goofy, fun, funny, off the cuff humor, and I think they look good together. I think them standing next to each other, I was like, I see you two together.
Oh
So
no.
I think it might be. Blake for the run. I think Blake's gonna get far.
I hate that. I hate that so much.
Hey, Marcus, third time's a charm.
No. And then if he doesn't,
If at first you won't
Oh my
succeed,
God.
try again. That's what they say, right?
I hope he's toxic. I hope he leaves. I don't want him to be toxic because I don't want Katie to have to experience more toxic men. But I hope
Sure.
he just leaves. He's like, you know what? Wasn't feeling it. Sorry, I misread this. You left.
I don't know, man. I sorry.
Dramatically.
Yes, because I wanted to sweep in and say I stand a Blake. No, I think I don't know. I think they're good together. I think they're gonna work out.
I hate it, guys. If you're listening to this episode, please let us know which contestants you like the best because we want to hear from you out there.
Yeah, guys, and I want to hear about the way you think the show's gonna go, guys. I'm watching the show all the way to the end, so you can tweet at us, Instagram us at Now Try This Cast, and let us know your predictions, where things are gonna go.
Hell yeah!
Because I'm here. I am here. I am standing these people. I am standing at Katie, and I don't know. My vote's for Blake. I think Blake's gonna win.
You know what's weird? I feel like this sucks about the show is that when a woman is over 30, they're like, she's dying. She is currently on her deathbed right now. Her eggs are over. Get in while the getting's good. And they make such a big deal about how old they are. And then the guy season, it's like it runs the gamut of ages. You got like everyone
Michael
from
A's
25
36.
to 36. It's 11
And
years.
25 is 25 the youngest?
25 is the youngest.
Because when it's a bachelor season, the youngest can be 21.
I hate that so much.
I think putting 21s on the show is disingenuous and silly.
I think you should have like maybe max 5 years either way of the bachelor's age.
Which they're pretty close to. Katie is 29.
Okay, cool.
So, Mike A is maybe a little old, but also
Yeah.
he's like, he doesn't seem wrong for the show.
No.
Right? So actually, I think that I agree with you. That's usually a big problem for me, but I think in this season they did good.
Good.
Age-wise. Like nobody feels out of age. No one feels not ready for like a real adult relationship, right? Even like the youngest of them, who you said was 25.
25. There's several people who are 25.
Justin's 26. I think he might be the youngest person still there. Courtney was 26.
Okay.
Trey's 26. Trey seems. I take that back. Trey seems kind of young. A lot of Andrew is 26. Yeah, there are a lot of 26, but 26 is like a year or two before you're gonna get married. Like that totally makes sense.
Yeah,
that's I can buy that. 21. Matt James had like tons of 21. You love Trey Dash? That is not something
we
that
love
I
Trey right now.
You like Trey?
Episode 4, we like Trey. He may get worse.
Bumbling. Oh, he's just like,
fine.
what's your middle name? I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. Oh, God,
He's
Trey. Oh, Katie.
Trey is so cute and nice.
Well, that's not my opinion of
We
Trey.
stand Trey in this household.
I agree with Lexi in the chat. I love him as a human, but he is not right for Katie.
Sure.
LMAO.
I think you're right. He's too
agree
good for
with that.
Katie. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not what I said. Dude, what are you talking about? You just saw the episode where he decided to he was talking about selling Thomas under the river. You heard how he was talking about it. He was patting himself on the back about it. He was like, I deserve that rose. I deserve that rose after that.
He didn't say he deserved rose.
He implied
didn't say
it.
that. He said,
he implied it.
I think I should get the rose.
He'd make a fun bachelor. You don't know the show at all.
I will say, this is Darren's first season watching this.
Cute.
With this many episodes in a row. There is
a lot to
always
say.
a lot of times there's this one guy. There's this one guy on every season, and then he ends up in Bachelor in Paradise, and he's fun for a little bit. And then he gets into a weird romance, gets his heart broken, and you never see him again in the Bachelor world.
Yes.
You know?
That's exactly
so I
what
think
this
that's probably his path.
100%. Well, Dash942 says she hates it, what you've seen so far. But I'll ask you about what you think, unless there's anything else you want to talk about, Marcus.
Let me dive through my mind space. No, there's nothing.
Through my mind space.
There's nothing.
All right, well, Marcus, did you like The Bachelorette?
I did. I had a fun time. I'm upset that I had a good time. I was like,
it's so
I don't want to
easy
be
to have a
here.
fun time.
Nick, I didn't mention this earlier, but I've only ever watched Bachelor, Bachelorette because of people I was in relationships with. Every single relationship I've ever been in, they've been like, let's watch Bachelor. Let's watch. I'm like, okay, well, sure. And I've always watched it reluctantly. I kind of liked it. I liked it Bachelor in Paradise more. I thought it was more fun than Bachelor and Bachelorette, and then that's why I made you watch that. And now you just pulled me right back into it, man. I thought I made it out. I thought I never had to watch this again, and you pulled me back.
I've been watching this shit for 3 years, and it's 100% your fault. So this is the least I could do. But Marcus, are you going to continue Katie's quest for love?
I am gonna continue. I gotta watch it. I gotta see what happens with Thomas.
You gotta know
the drama. I hate it. I complain about it. It's like I don't want to watch it. It's hard to watch sometimes, but god damn it, I gotta know if he gets kicked off.
You gotta know.
I also like watching the hometowns. There's something about the hometowns that I just genuinely like.
Because it's like getting real at that point, right?
Yeah, because the love is real,
like,
and then you meet family, and there's always that one parent who's like, I don't know.
And then there's always that one parent that's like, yes.
Yeah, and then there's always that other parent that's just weird as fuck, and you're like, holy shit, you should not be on TV.
That is the gambit. That is the gambit. It's wild. I have no idea how this is all going to play out.
It is wild.
Marcus, and would you recommend the show?
It's hard to recommend the show because if you're not watching Bachelorette already, you know that you don't want to watch it. You can't, you know what I mean? You've made up your mind that you don't watch it already.
I don't mean to keep interrupting you, but Dash9442 in the chat, she's just so funny tonight. She said, I don't want to watch her break up with like 4 of these sweet boys all at once. Well, that's what you're prepare yourself because that is what happens.
Yeah, but no, I think that if you're not already watching Bachelorette and you're curious, go ahead, dip your toe. If you know it's not your thing and you're not going to like it, then don't watch it. Just stay away because you're not going to be convinced otherwise.
Honestly, even if you don't think you're going to like, I still say you should give it a chance because you'd be surprised. I was on the other side. I was like, I'm never going to watch that stupid show. And here I am, 3 years in.
I know.
Completely invested.
I can't believe that. I can't believe I got you to watch the show and now you're making me watch the show.
You and this podcast has affected my life. I don't know if for the better or for worse. I don't fucking know. But so much. And like, this is the proof, Marcus. I am still watching this shit.
Guys, this is a genuine friendship with consequences. This podcast has consequences in our lives.
Yeah, I have a Your Name poster. I have Steven Universe Funko Pops. But you know what I mean? Like, you fucking...
Nice.
Yeah.
And if we've impacted your life as a listener because you've tried something that you've loved, but you wouldn't have tried otherwise, let us know because that's pretty fucking cool.
Honestly, the best tweets, reviews, Instagram messages that we get, the best ones are the ones saying, I listened to your show because of this thing. I liked the show. I kept watching. And then I started trying stuff with you guys. That's the coolest, sweetest, best part of the show.
Yeah.
Because that means that you guys are like us. You get caught up in your lives. You get on your railroad and you need someone else. We have each other. We're blessed to have each other, but not everyone is. To have someone push you just a little bit left and a little bit right, and you get exposed to all these wonderful things you never would have before. And for you guys to come and join us on that journey, it means the world to us. It really does.
Yes, it does. Nick, it's my turn to give you something to try.
I was like, are you telling me to end the show? Okay, guys, you can follow us now. I was ready.
No. I got to give you something to try. Nick, I'm struggling, man. I feel like our patrons have been giving us such good content. We've just been having such fun. And there are a few things that I'm watching, but I haven't had a lot of time to watch a lot of stuff. But there's something new that I do want you to try out. I want you to watch the Netflix movie Fear Street.
Oh, that bullshit fucking looking 80s bullshit
what
fucking scary movie. Fucking, isn't it a trilogy? Do I gotta watch 3 movies?
You don't have to watch 3 movies. You just have to watch part 1.
What do I have to watch? Oh my god.
Huh?
Oh my god. Are you sure I only have to watch part 1? I don't have to watch all 3 to get it?
I don't think you have to watch all 3 to get it. We'll see.
What is this? Is also like
I'll message you later about
which one? Part 1, 1994? Is that what I'm watching?
Yes, part 1, 1994.
Oh, it goes backwards in time? 1978, 1666. What? Oh, is this a clown in one number 2?
Well, you only have to watch number 1.
What is it though? Because I want to make sure not to watch it.
I don't watch it. I will keep you posted. I will keep you posted.
But I'm safe to watch the first one.
You're safe to watch the first one. Watch the first one.
Okay. Well, spoilers to me, because when I clicked it to see what it is, this genre is an LGBTQ movie, so now I know they're gay. Thanks, Netflix.
Oh God! Spoilers, gay stuff.
No, that's so dumb. Is it just have 2 gay people in it, so counts as a LGBT?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't need to get on my high horse right now.
Okay,
That's not.
Don't get on your high
whatever,
horse.
whatever.
Watch the movie.
I got in the same thing when Amazon Prime was like suggesting me like black films, and it suggested me. It suggested me something that was just like it was just black people in it, and I was like,
and
that's
you're
not,
like, that's
not.
yeah.
Are you saying only black people watch black people? Like, what are you saying, Amazon?
I know. Yeah.
So tone deaf.
It is
Anyway.
upsetting when that happens.
Oh, why the fuck do I gotta watch this? I have to ask you that next time. Okay, I'll watch fucking Fear Street. Is it like adult Goosebumps?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, is it really?
It
That's
is,
what it
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
looked like. Oh, okay, great.
Yeah,
That's
it's
kind of exciting.
it's
Okay.
R.L. Stein's other series, Fear Street.
Oh, that's why it sounds
Mhm.
familiar. I literally just nailed it. Okay, great.
Yep.
In the back of my head, that must have been there somewhere. Yes.
Good.
Okay,
good.
next week, guys, we're going to be doing Fear Street Part 1, 1994. Go ahead and watch that on Netflix. Prepare yourselves for next week because we record live on twitch.tv/NowTryThisCast at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join the conversation. Let us know your Bachelorette picks and what you think of Fear Street at NowTryThisCast on all socials. And if you want to influence what our try is going to be next month, join the Patreon at patreon.com/NowTryThisCast. If you just join with $1, just $1, you can vote on what our challenges are going to be. And honestly, they become nail biters every single month. So you definitely want to be involved with that. Thank you so much for listening, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Fuck yeah. Let's go. Guys, thank you for joining us. We love you. You're wonderful. Now go out there and try some things. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Friends get together so they can try things. Yell about it, it's podcast so that you can try things. Now we will stop singing so that we can all now try this.
Marcus, tell him.
Apparently, people can't hear me. So
Oh,
hold on
can't hear
1
Marcus.
second.
Well, here's the thing.
1 second.
Guys, this is sabotage.
Can you hear
This
me
is
now?
exactly what we wanted all the time.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you the whole time.
Can you
No.
hear me?
Marcus, why don't we just assume
calling?
nobody can hear you and then we'll
Can you
just No. They still
Okay,
can't hear you,
okay,
Marcus.
okay.
We're just gonna stay with me right here.
Okay, I guess we need to do the
lost
intro
viewers 'cause
again.
we
Are you
couldn't hear
ready? Hello and welcome to Now Try
Do you really think I'm not
No,
gonna keep
you
all
did
that
that.
in?
You did the intro. You did the intro.